Hello, I'm Rick Stivers of YoungMartin'sReels. Today's project is going to be for, I think his name is Fishin' Travis. He asked me a question. He was checking out my video on Zebco drag systems, and he asked me specifically about what may be causing his drag not to tighten on his Zebco reel. I asked him what model he had. He told me he's got a Zebco 44, and that's what this is. It's not the only style of Zebco 44 there was out there, but I'm going to hope that this is the one that he has and see if we can walk him through it. This particular one doesn't have an anti-reverse. I don't know that it should have or not. We're going to find out when we get into it. I believe it is supposed to have an anti-reverse, and it's just not working. So we're going to get into this one. We're going to take it all apart, take the drag system apart, and show him how it should be inside and see if he can maybe get his to work that way. So, Fishin' Travis, let's see what we can do. And for those of you, I know there's going to be somebody out there that says, that ain't the right handle for that 44. And no, it's not. It's one that somebody put on here, probably my dad, years ago. But it's functional, it works, and I'm going to leave it that way. All right, here goes that cap. Let's take the one off the other end. There we go. That's got both the caps off. Now, I would like to take, I don't think that's it. I think it's a 10 millimeter. There we go. This reel is also missing a cap that is supposed to go over this hole right here. And I don't have that either. So let's see what we can do. Okay, next thing we're going to try to do is get this spinner head off. And to do that, I guess I should have left this on for the moment until I got this spinner head broke loose. Easier said than done. All right, well, that being the case, let's see if we can do it without taking the spinner head off and do it a little bit different. Doing old school. All right, no, that spinner head's gonna have to come off. Boy, I'm not looking forward to that. All right, let's see what we can do. Let's put this handle back on. This time we'll go ahead and tighten it back on. And I'm gonna see if I can hold that in place and get that spinner head to unscrew. There it goes. Oh, sorry, you didn't see that. But what I did is I held the handle and kept putting pressure on the spinner head until it come off. There we go. All right, now I'm going to take the handle back off. All right, let's see what we can do here. All right, there is a clip. And on another Zebco the other day, somebody pointed out to me that I did not push this lever back over the spool when I put it back on, and they were correct. I went back and watched the video, and they were correct. I did not move that back over. I think it was on the Zebco 66 Scotty that I did. Tommy, you might want to check your reel on that and see if I flipped that lever back out later, but certainly didn't in the video. Okay, and that does not want to come off, which means the drag is tight. So what we're going to do is we're going to loosen the drag. Okay, like that. Now let's see if this will come off. No, still does not want to come off. And maybe I went the wrong way with the drag. Okay, this is jamming up and I don't know why. Let's see if we can figure something out from the inside. Okay. All right, well, the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and remove the button. There we go. button trigger. We'll pull the screw out, slide that lever up and out. We should be, there you go. Get that out of there, and we're not going to be able to take, well, we can take the back side of this off, but we can't take the front side off yet. So what I'm going to do is push down a little bit and push over on this, and this should pop up and off. Okay, that's one side. There we go. Slide that up and out. That's got the axle shaft out. It's got all this out of the way. All right. Okay. Been a long time since I've been in one of these, about a year. All right, what I'm going to have to do to get this to unscrew out of here is I've got to remove this E-clip right here. So I'm going to start off by doing that. Okay. There we go. E-clip is out. That should then allow us to unscrew this all the way. Okay, with that done, we should be able to pull that out, and that gives us this spring and this washer and this screw jack. And let's see what we can do in here. I still have not been able to get this spool to come off. It's catching. So one way or another, this is supposed to tighten and loosen the drag. Let's go ahead and take the head off of this lever. There we go. Okay. All right, I'm going to take this screw out. It should be the adjuster for this gear. I'm going to figure all this out, and then I'll explain it as I put it back together, because so far I don't have it figured out. All right, that's got that. That backs that off. There we go. There comes our pinion gear. Now the pinion gear is out of it. Now we should be able to take the main gear out, like so. All right, but still, okay, this gear here comes out. That's all fine. None of that has anything to do, and see, I don't see anything here for an anti-reverse, so it does not appear that this reel had an anti-reverse. Or if it does, I don't see anything making it operate. Okay. All right. Well, this lever right here is what activates and deactivates your drag, like so. And as it rotates, it's supposed to push that lever one way or the other. And I've got it slid out of there now. It's got a piece that's supposed to slide through here. There's a metal piece on here. This should come off. All right. That got it off. Okay. There's a lot of grease in here. All right, see this metal bracket right here? Well, he's the one that's supposed to fit inside that bar, like so. It could be at this end. I'm not real sure yet. I'll have to figure it out. But that goes in there. All right. What I'm going to have to do now is scrub this thing up real good, because right now you can't hardly see anything of what's going on in it because of all the grease. All right, now, before we get too far, we're going to go ahead and release this spring. And there's another one on the other side. See that? What an awkward spring that is. Okay. I'll set that over to this side, and there's another one on this other side. See it there? Oh, that's how it goes in, just like that. Okay, grab hold of it, pull it out, slip it up and out. Okay, both of those springs are out of the way. That allows our brake assembly to come out. And let's scrub this thing up and see if we can't figure out how to get it cleaned up and put together so that all the parts are functional. Okay, I got this part figured out, and it's a little bit hairy, but we'll figure it out. All right, first off, the first thing we're going to want to put back in this thing, as far as our drag goes, is going to be this bar and shield right here, our brake assembly. Okay, so let's go ahead, let's grab the bar and pull it out real quick, and I'll show you how this works. Okay, it's a little bit difficult to see, but let's see if we can do it. All right, we've got this assembly right here is our brake. Okay, that's what pushes against the inside of this, causing it to create friction for the drag. All right, this piece sits inside this notch right here in the center core. Okay, it's got a sharply bent end, and that sharply bent end is actually going to be on the outside of the hole, and all the way back here going into that hole right there is going to be the flat straight part. Now when you've got it in there right, if you look, you can barely see it. Let's see if I can put something bright underneath it. Okay, if you look right there, you can see that spring coming across the hole, intersecting it. Okay, well, that spring brake is going to fit into the slot. It's on this. See that slot? Okay, so take the long end of the short end of this right here and face it towards the foot over here. And let's put this in, kind of wiggle around a little bit, and you'll feel it drop into that slot. Okay, so now that brake assembly is on this arm. See there? All right, when it's all the way over this way, that's no drag whatsoever. And then all the way out like this would be full drag, as much drag as you can possibly put on. And that's a spring, so it's just going to spring out. All right, in order to hold all that in place, we're going to go ahead and put our spool back on. And so we don't forget, let's go ahead and flip that lever over. That's supposed to hold the spool in place. All right. Now, as I said before, I have not been able to find any anti-reverse on this reel whatsoever. And you guys can check in the comments. I'm going to check with Tommy Modisette and see if it's supposed to have a drag, but or not drag, anti-reverse, but I can't find one on it anywhere. So we're going to proceed on and start putting this thing back together. All right. First thing we're going to want to do is we're going to install this gear. And this gear is going to fit down inside here. But again, check your comments, because I will check with the folks in the know, and they'll let us know. there may be a part missing. Okay, we're going to slide this in, get it started, and then I'm going to set this gear down inside, like so, and then I will turn that gear until it meets up with the keyway inside the gear. And it should go on through. There we go, like that. Okay. With that done, we can come back and put our pinion gear back in. And it's a small pinion gear, so I think we can probably afford a little grease on it. Let's go ahead and slide that in. Drop it down. I have to move this gear over again. Now, there's an adjuster for this. That's this one here. It's going to go in here, and we're going to adjust the lash on this gear to fit. So we don't want it too tight, but we don't want it too loose either. All right, so we're going to get this. Go ahead and get this screw started in the hole. There we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this over until it meshes with the gear, and then I'm going to back it off ever so slightly. Just a little bit, just to create a little bit of lash. Because if you get it too tight, you'll cause a gear grind. If you get it too loose, you'll cause a gear grind. So you're looking for that spot where it sounds right. And we've got a gear grind. So we got to figure out, did I go too far or not enough? I'm going to try backing it off just a hair. There we go. No gear grind. All right, and that's what we were after. Okay, so at this point, we now know some things about this drag. We know that when we go as far over this way as we can, we have no drag, and as far over this way as we can, we have maximum drag. Okay, so now we know which way is going to move that drag into contact and cause it to create drag. All right, let's go. Let's see, that's going to go with that spring. If I can get it to come off my finger. All right, let's go ahead and slide this block back over this. And at this point, we have our drag adjuster. It's going to come in. Next to the drag adjuster is going to go, or over the drag adjuster rod is going to go this spring. Over that is going to go this washer, and then all of that screws into there. Okay, and as it screws in, it pulls this way. Okay, now we're going to stop at that point because we need to be able to lock this so that it can't slide off. Now if you look right here, there's a groove. Let's blow this up. Okay, so we got a spring, a washer, the drag adjuster, and this slot right here. Okay, in that slot, we're going to put this E-clip. I'm going to snap that E-clip on. Now our drag system is complete. Okay, so now as you turn this in further and further, it's going to pull. Oh, sorry. As you turn this further and further in, it's going to pull this arm closer and closer to this side. As it does that, it puts more and more tension on the spool for your drag. Okay. The more you put on, the tighter it gets. when you back it back out, like so, now you've loosened the drag. Okay, that makes it free spin actually. Okay, so let me back this out even more so you can see better. All right, as you crank it in, it pulls the arm over, which flips that little lever inside here out, causes that to tighten. Okay, when you turn it back counterclockwise, it loosens it up. So if you've got all these parts in here, which gives you that rod or that spring plate going through this rod, comes up through here, goes into this head, then the drag adjuster goes through that. Onto that, it's going to be this spring, this washer, and this E-clip. If you've got all that there, then when you crank this down, this should tighten the drag. Okay, if you have this style of drag on your Zebco 44. All right, let's go ahead and finish putting this back together. Okay, that goes in. Now we're going to need to put these springs back in. Remember these springs that we had? Well, they sit back behind here, back behind the brake, like so. And once you get it down there, it has a tendency to want to flip over. Okay. And when you get it like that, I don't know if you can see it very well. When you get it like that, you want to grab hold of the spring. Like so. Get a good grip on it. I've got it backwards. Okay, I'm grabbing hold of the spring. This little notch here goes around the back side, like so. And the front side comes up and goes in that hole. That there, release it. Now that side is spring loaded. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, grab hold of the fairly straight curve, tighten it down. Okay, slide the hook behind the arm. Might need to pull it in a little bit to get it to slide behind it, like so. Okay, bring that down, get that hook to go in. There we go. Get that hook to go in that hole, and that's locked in. So now, this assembly, your brake, is spring loaded. Now we've got to get this guy installed. There we go. There. That's all in. Okay, with all that in, see if I can point it out to you. This rod's got to go into that hole right there. Your axle shaft's got to go in here, make sure your spring stays on. And then the ends of this go into the brake assembly right there. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to move the brake assembly out, let that come down, and it'll lock into place like that. Yeah, okay. Axle shaft needed to go down first. Push the axle shaft down, then feed this through so that it's sitting on top of the axle shaft. There. Okay. Now let's see if that works better. There we go. Much better. All right. And we do probably have a problem here because this line should not be coming out under the brake. It should come out over the brake. So let me see if I can get that line moved to where it needs to be. There we go. All right, so that's got that around. And now we're going to make sure that that tab is out, which it is. Let's take a look at this drag now. Now the drag must be completely released because look, there's no tension on it whatsoever. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, turn the drag in. There we go. Fish Travis, do you see how that's working now? Hopefully you've seen how all that drag system goes together, and you can check yours and see what's wrong with it if you have this same model. If not, sorry. This is the only Model 44 I have. All right. Got the spinner head back on. We're going to pull the handle back on. All right, now we can hold the handle while we tighten the spinner head. There we go. All right. Now we've got some line that's fouled up in here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and run this through the cap. Pull it out on the bottom side here, and then we're going to run this thing a little bit. See if we can't get the get that wadded up part out. All right, let's take a look. All right, it's gone. That's what I was hoping for. All right, that's got that locked in place. Our drain hole's at the bottom. Let's go ahead and add some grease now because we haven't greased the pinion gear and the main gear. So let's put a little grease on those, put a little on the axle shaft, put a little on the gear assembly over here. Let's wind that a little. All right, the gears are now greased. The drag is working and functional. Let's put the back cover back on. And let's get the line wound back in on this. All right. I'm going to tighten down this screw over here. And I'm going to wind the line back in. Okay, we got it all back together. Let's test our drag. It's working. Let's see if we can tighten the drag. Yes, we can. Can we loosen the drag? Yes. Can we loosen it some more? Absolutely. Okay. Bait clicker's on. Bait clicker off. Okay. Bait clicker back on. Huh. Stand by. Okay, we have anti-reverse. After everything I've been saying about no let's find out where it's at. It seems to come on with the bait clicker. Okay, No anti-reverse there. Bait clicker on. Avid. Well, let's take a look, folks. I'm not going to be satisfied until I do. All right. Okay, bait clicker on, off. Oh. So the bait clicker, it's not really a bait clicker it's actually the anti-reverse. It's not really a bait. I mean, it does make a noise, but when your line goes out, you're not getting a bait clicker noise. So it's not really a bait clicker. It is a noisy anti-reverse. And there it is right there. I don't know if you can see it, but there it is right there. All right, so I've been talking like an idiot for the last 30 minutes or so, I guess, about this thing not having an anti-reverse. I guess it does have anti-reverse. And also, I think I had this cap on upside down because this reel is designed to hang upside down, which means your words would be up here at the top. So I had that on upside down. There's your drain hole right there hanging down, which is what it should do. All right, let's put this cover back on. Let's close it up. And hey, like I said before, I always tell you guys when I mess up. So here I am telling you about it again. I'm going to tighten down the screw now. All right. So there you have the Zebco 44. I hope this is the model that you have, Travis. I hope that's what you're looking for. I still don't have a cap to go on here. Maybe I can come up with one, something to put on there. Hope you guys liked the video. If you did like the video, please hit the like button. If you didn't like it, that's okay. Hit the dislike button and tell me what it is you didn't like. I'm happy and content to find out. For now, if you'd like to see further videos like this, hit the subscribe button. And for now, that's Rick Stivers of YoungMartin'sReels with a reel that has anti-reverse, signing out.